Disclaimer: this content is only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. I never thought one yes could change so much in my life. It was supposed to be a simple answer to a question that felt romantic at the time, heart-pounding, stars in my eyes, and that warm feeling you get when someone you care about looks at you like you're the only person in the world. I said yes to my boyfriend. I thought it would bring us closer. I thought it meant we were finally on the same page. But now, I'm not so sure. I regret it, and not just a little. I regret it deeply. Let me take you back a bit. We've been together for over a year, me and Josh. Funny, charming, always knowing what to say. From the outside, we were that perfect couple. People would comment on our pictures, say we were goals, ask how we made it look so easy. But what they didn't see were the moments in between, the silences that started to last longer, the messages that went unanswered, the way his voice changed whenever I asked him where he'd been. Still, when he planned that surprise night, candles, my favorite dinner, soft music playing, I told myself this is it. He's trying. He wants us. And when he looked into my eyes and asked me that question, I smiled and said yes. I didn't realize in that moment how saying yes wasn't the beginning of something beautiful, but maybe the start of something I wasn't ready for. Now, things feel different. Not in a dramatic way, but in small, unsettling ways. He's more distant. Conversations feel off. It's like the person I said yes to isn't quite the same anymore. Or maybe, I'm just starting to see him clearly now. Was I blinded by love? Or was he always this person and I just chose to ignore the signs? And then there's this other part one haven't told anyone about yet, not even my best friend. Something happened. Something that made me question everything I thought I knew about Josh. And myself. But before I get too far ahead, this is where I need your thoughts. Have you ever been in a relationship where things felt perfect until one moment changed everything? Have you ever said yes to someone, only to wish you could take it back? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it. Also, I'm putting up a poll: should I have said yes, or was I rushing into something I wasn't ready for? Click and let me know what you think. And trust me, this is only the beginning. It started a few weeks before I said yes. Little things. I noticed Josh had started checking his phone more often, stepping away when certain calls came in, and brushing off my questions with a quick, just work stuff. At first, I believed him. I mean, he works in marketing and sometimes pulls late hours, so it didn't feel unusual until it did. There was one night in particular, he came home late, smelling like a cologne I don't recognize. Not his usual scent. Not mine either. I asked him about it. He laughed it off, told me someone at the office had sprayed too much and it must have rubbed off on him. But something in his eyes told a different story. It was like he was searching for the right words, not just reacting naturally. That's when the first real doubt settled into my mind. Still, I pushed it down. I wanted to believe in us. I didn't want to be that girlfriend who questioned everything. I trusted him, or at least I wanted to. We had planned a weekend getaway just after I said yes. A quiet cabin outside the city, just the two of us, away from the noise. I was hoping it would help us reconnect. And for a while, it did feel like it was working. We made breakfast together, took long walks, and even stayed up late talking about dreams and childhood memories. I started to feel like maybe I had overthought everything. Maybe we were fine. But that last night at the cabin, something strange happened. Josh left his phone on the kitchen counter while he stepped into the shower. A message popped up. I didn't want to snoop. I swear I didn't. But the name on the screen wasn't one I recognized, Maddie Speech Balloon, and the message just said, "Miss you already." Last night meant everything. I froze. My heart started racing. My first instinct was to put the phone down and pretend I didn't see it. But you know when something just grips you and you can't walk away? I tapped it. I didn't go digging, I just read that message. That one line. And honestly, that was enough to break something inside me. I didn't confront him right away. I acted normal for the rest of the night. I smiled, laughed, even kissed him goodnight. But inside, I was screaming. The next morning, I told him I had a headache and wanted to go home early. He didn't ask many questions, just packed up like it didn't mean anything. Since we got back, I've been distant. I know he feels it, but he hasn't said anything. And I keep going back and forth in my head, was it all innocent? Was it a misunderstanding? Or was I just a placeholder in someone else's love story? I haven't told anyone yet. Not my best friend, not my sister. I'm scared to hear what they might say because maybe deep down, I already know the truth. And now, every time Josh touches my hand or smiles at me, it feels like I'm watching a stranger pretending to be someone I used to love. So, what would you do if you were in my place? Would you confront him? Would you walk away? Or would you give him a chance to explain? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to vote in the poll. After we got back from the cabin, I started paying closer attention to everything. The way Josh answered texts a little too quickly and locked his phone every time he set it down. The way he avoided eye contact when we talked about anything serious. I kept replaying that message from Maddie over and over in my mind. Miss you already. Last night meant everything. What did it mean? Was he cheating? Was it emotional? Or was there another explanation I hadn't thought of yet? I wanted to ask him, but every time I opened my mouth, something held me back. Maybe it was fear. Maybe I didn't want to hear the truth. Or maybe I was still hoping that there was a chance I was wrong. So instead of talking to him, I started talking to someone else, my best friend, Sarah. I finally broke down and told her everything. From the moment I said yes, to that strange text, to the gut feeling that something wasn't right. She listened quietly, not judging, just letting me pour it all out. When I was done, she looked me dead in the eye and said, "You need to know what's really going on. And you deserve the truth, even if it hurts." That's when the idea came up, should I follow him one day? Not in a full-on stalker way, but just, see where he goes when he says he's working late. I didn't want to go down that road, but when someone makes you feel like a stranger in your own relationship, trust starts to crack. While I was figuring all this out, another weird thing happened. I got a message on Instagram from a girl I didn't know. Her name was Leah. She said, "Hey, I don't know if this is weird, but are you dating Josh? Because I think we need to talk." My heart dropped. I didn't reply right away. I stared at her profile, no mutuals, not much info. But something about her message felt too specific to ignore. So I asked her what she meant. She replied a few hours later saying, "Let's just say, he's not who you think he is." That line hit me hard. Now I don't know what's worse, the message I saw from Maddie, or this random girl reaching out with a warning. Is Josh just lying to me, or is there a whole side of his life I don't even know about? I haven't told Josh any of this yet. I'm trying to keep things normal while I decide my next move. But every time he looks at me, smiles, or tells me he loves me, I feel like I'm living in a lie. What do you think I should do? Should I meet Leah and find out what she knows? Should I confront Josh now, or wait until I have more proof? Could there be a twist I'm not seeing? Let me know in the comments, what would you do if you were in my place? And do you think Leah is telling the truth, or is she just trying to stir up drama? Don't forget to subscribe. I finally replied to Leah and agreed to meet her. I didn't tell Josh. I told him I was going out with Sarah, and even though I felt guilty about lying, something in my gut told me this was the only way I'd get the truth. We picked a quiet cafe outside the city, neutral place, public enough to feel safe. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't even know what she looked like beyond her profile photo. But when she walked in, I recognized her instantly. Not because we'd met before, but because I had seen her on Josh's Instagram. Just once, buried in a group photo from a work event. He never tagged her, never mentioned her. Leah sat across from me and didn't waste time. She started talking as if we were already in the middle of the conversation. I don't know how much you know, but I thought you should hear it from me. Josh and we've been seeing each other for a while. He told me he was single. My stomach dropped. I wanted to speak, to argue, to say it wasn't true, but I just sat there, frozen. She showed me screenshots of their chats, dates, voice notes, even a picture of them at the same cabin I thought was just ours. I didn't cry. I couldn't. I just kept thinking, how long? Why? What was I to him? Was I just the girl who said yes while he was out building another life? But here's the twist. Leah didn't come to fight me. She looked just as betrayed. When I found out about you, I confronted him. He swore you two were over. He told me you were just a friend he was helping through a hard time. That one hit me the hardest. How could someone twist the truth so easily? When I left that cafe, my mind was spinning. I didn't go home. I sat in my car for what felt like hours, reading and rereading every message Leah had sent me. Looking back at every moment with Josh, searching for clues I'd missed. Every time he said I love you, every time he made me feel like I was his world, was it all fake? And then, just as I started the car to head home, I got a message. From Josh. Hey babe, what time are you coming back? I have something special planned tonight. Special. Like nothing was wrong. Like he wasn't living a double life. That night, I stood in front of the mirror for a long time. Not to check my makeup or fix my hair, but to try and see myself clearly. Who was I now? The girl who still wanted to believe in love, or the girl who had finally opened her eyes? When I walked into the apartment, he was there, smiling, candles lit again, that same cologne I smelled the night he came home late. I have a surprise for you, he said, reaching for my hand. And that's where everything shifted. What do you think happened next? Would you have told him right then? Or kept quiet to see how far the lie would go? Let me know in the comments. I stood there in the doorway, hearing him say he had a surprise for me. Part of me wanted to laugh at how absurd it all was, the candles, the carefully arranged dinner table, the playlist of songs he knew I loved. It was like he was trying to replay the night I said yes, as if doing it again would erase everything. He came closer and handed me a small box. My fingers hesitated, but I took it. Inside was a delicate bracelet with a little heart charm. Engraved on it were our initials. I stared at it in silence. He smiled. You've been distant lately. I wanted to remind you how much you mean to me. Those words would have meant everything to me a few weeks ago. Now, they felt empty. I forced a soft smile, trying to stay calm, trying not to explode. I still didn't say anything. Not yet. I needed one more moment. One more sign. One more reason to believe or to walk away. That's when my phone buzzed in my bag. A notification from an unknown number. I slid it out quickly, pretending I was just checking the time. The message read, "You don't know the full story. Meet me. Alone. Tomorrow at noon. Maddie." My chest tightened. Could it be her? The same Maddie from that message on Josh's phone? I excused myself to the bathroom, locking the door behind me as I tried to collect my thoughts. Now there was another person involved. Another girl? Or was this a warning? A trap? A setup? I stared at my reflection again, not recognizing the version of me that was stuck in the middle of something that kept twisting deeper. I walked back out and sat across from Josh. He kept talking about work, plans for the weekend, even bringing up a vacation idea for us. It was like he was doubling down on the relationship, like he knew I was slipping away and he was trying to pull me back in. But all I could think about was Maddie. What did she know? Why was she reaching out now? Josh asked me why I was so quiet. I gave him the usual just tired excuse, and he didn't push. But I noticed something different. A flicker of nervousness in his eyes. Like he knew something was coming but didn't know from where. The next day, I went to meet Maddie. She chose a bookstore cafe downtown. She was already there when I arrived, sitting by the window. When she looked up and saw me, she gave me a small, almost sad smile. "I wasn't sure you'd come," she said. I sat down slowly. "Why did you message me?" And then she said something I didn't expect at all. "Because I'm not who you think I am. And neither is Josh. I think he's lying to both of us, about everything." What do you think she meant by that? Is Josh hiding more than just another relationship? Is there a bigger secret behind all this? Tell me in the comments, what would you do if you were me? And what do you think Maddie is about to reveal? I stared at Maddie, trying to process what she had just said. Her eyes looked tired, like she had been carrying the weight of the truth for too long. I leaned in, heart pounding. "What do you mean? What is he hiding?" She took a deep breath. "Josh isn't just lying about us. He's lying about everything. His job, his past, even his name. My real name isn't Maddie. It's Emily. And I wasn't dating him. I was working with him. At least, that's what I thought." I blinked, confused. "Working? What do you mean?" "He used to be part of a small marketing startup," she explained. "I joined the team last year. He was charming, smart, everyone liked him. But then things started going missing: money, files, access passwords. He vanished right before the company found out someone had drained one of the accounts. We never caught him. I thought I'd never see him again until I came across your profile through his tagged photos. That's when I realized he was still using the same face, just a different life." Everything inside me went numb. The late nights, the dodged questions, the way he always controlled how much I knew. Suddenly, it all made sense. Josh wasn't just cheating. He was living a lie. Emily pulled out her phone and showed me emails, documents, even an old ID with a different last name. There was no denying it. He wasn't who he said he was. I felt the room spin. My stomach turned. How was I this deep into something I didn't even understand? "Why are you telling me this now?" I asked, voice shaking. "Because I think he's about to disappear again," she said. "And you're the one person who's close enough to stop him." That night, I went home and found Josh packing a small bag. He looked startled when he saw me. "Hey, I thought you were working late. Where are you going?" I asked, keeping my voice calm. "Just a quick trip work thing," he mumbled. I nodded, stepping closer. "Under your real name, or Josh?" His face went pale. That was the moment it broke. All the lies. All the fake stories. He didn't deny it. He just sat down on the couch, buried his face in his hands, and said, "I didn't mean to hurt you." I asked him why. Why me? Why this? And he said something I didn't expect. "Because with you, I started to believe I could be someone else. Someone better. But I knew I'd mess it up." I told him to leave. He didn't argue. Just picked up his bag and walked out. That was it. But here's the twist. 2 weeks later, I got a package in the mail. No return address. Inside was the bracelet he gave me, and a note that said, "You still made me feel like I mattered. I hope you find someone real." And tucked behind it, $10,000 in cash. So now I ask you, do you think people like that ever change? Was he saying goodbye, or planning something more? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I kept that package in my drawer for weeks. Every time I opened it and saw that bracelet and the money, I got a strange feeling, like closure and confusion wrapped into one. I still didn't know if it was guilt or love that made Josh send it. Maybe it was both. Maybe he really did feel something real for me, in his own broken way. But feelings don't erase lies, and love isn't a reason to stay when the foundation is fake. After he left, my days were quiet. I spent more time with myself, journaling, healing, talking with Sarah and even with Emily. We stayed in touch. Turned out, we had more in common than just being fooled by the same man. We were both people who saw the good in someone and chose to believe in it, until it broke us. There's a kind of unexpected friendship that forms when two people share the same heartbreak. I used some of the money to take a solo trip, something I'd always dreamed about but never had the courage to do. Just me, no drama, no half-truths, no pretending. Somewhere peaceful. Somewhere real. And for the first time in a long while, I started to feel like myself again, not someone's girlfriend, not someone who said yes to the wrong person, but just me. There are still moments when I catch myself wondering where Josh is now. Did he start over again? Is he still lying to someone else, or finally being honest? I guess I'll never know. And maybe that's okay. Some stories aren't meant to have perfect endings. Sometimes closure is just realizing that someone's absence is better than their presence ever was. If you've ever trusted someone who turned out to be completely different than who you thought, if you've ever had to rebuild yourself from the ground up, I hope this story reminds you that it's possible. You can walk away. You can heal. And one day, you'll look back and realize that saying goodbye wasn't the hardest part. Staying would have been. So now I want to hear from you. How did this ending make you feel? Do you think Josh was truly sorry, or just trying to escape again? And would you want to see a sequel to this story, maybe from Josh's point of view? Let me know in the comments. And if this story moved you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with someone who needs to hear it.